for this little section, I just want to run through the differences of an internet business and the power of an internet business, and why at the age of 35 I literally decided to turn my back on a really good bathroom sort of industry career in favour of heading this way. And my wife was pregnant with our first child, and I kind of saw that I was doing 6 days a week with the bathroom industry business, and I really didn't have much time. And yes, I could have got to, you know, 150,000 pound a year, but it would have always been at the expense of 5 or 6 days a week for the rest of my life. And I really thought, you know what, I want the freedom. I want to be able to see the children. I don't want somebody telling me where I've got to be and when. I want to choose when I work, and I want to get the freedom and lifestyle back, coupled with obviously making a really good amount of money too. So let's just look at an internet business, and I'm going to compare it to a franchise, just because I think the franchise model is going crazy and I don't understand why. I've got to be honest, I have no idea what anybody is thinking about here. So let's take a look at an internet business, and the one that we're looking at here, I guess really, initial investment, anything between sort of 144, again I'm talking in dollars because the system that we work with, with a UK European front, it's kind of an American product and system, but fully vetted by us, and we love it. So $144 to $5,000 is your maximum kind of investment, okay? So over here at franchise, you're looking at anything between 5,000 and 2 million. On average, they're 25,000 for a franchise. So we've got very low risk with the internet business comparatively with the very high risk of a franchise type model, or this could even be a traditional type business model as well. Another advantage with an internet business, we've got no employees. Yeah, none whatsoever. Whereas you come over here, I've used the term herding employees. I've had employees. And so when you think you've got a day off and suddenly 2 of your staff are not well, or something's going on, I don't know, you know, the ins and outs of herding a load of people is a big headache in itself. We don't have that over here, okay? Everybody that you're working with is an independent business, an independent person, an independent entrepreneur. So you're never herding employees. No premises. You can literally work this from a laptop. I mean, I'm in an office now, but this office doesn't cost me very much, a couple of £100 a month. But I wanted the whiteboard, and I wanted to separate my business from my home life, so I actually work less, and when I'm at home, I'm at home. So that was a personal choice, but you don't need premises. But when you go to franchise, the cost of premises, a shop or a factory, and of course now you've got rates and gas, electric, all of these other things, whereas this would all come into your house expenses that are tax deductible, by the way, when you've got a good accountant. No stock. We're talking virtual products, delivery of products. I created a training program on how to generate free leads for UK home business owners. And it was an ebook, which is a Word document converted into a particular online file. I never printed it out, it was all online. And I was selling that ebook for £47.95, and I sold around 450 copies of that. So you do the sums, there's, you know, £16,000 of pure profit, and it didn't cost me anything to make the product. So we don't have any stock. It's virtual product education and training, and of course that carries much higher profit margins. This is what really drew me in. When you look at a bathroom industry, that their margins are about 20%, 25%, and suddenly I'm making 100% on what I sell. It's very sexy. So of course you've got, with a franchise or a traditional business type model, you've got stock outlay and then stock rotation, so you've got this constant rechurning of the money back in to keep filtering stock in, but over here you don't. Another advantage of an internet business, and it's one of the biggest things, it's what drew me. I would take freedom over money if I had the bottom line choice. I don't know my wife would, but I definitely would. So I've got freedom. I've got the freedom to set things running. I've got leads flying in every day because the internet's doing the work for me. I've set the ads off. They're running. The emails are going out automatically. Everything's happening. Videos are playing. This video that you're watching now is playing for hundreds of people around the world, and I'm not here. I'm off probably in the park with my 6-year-old son playing football, or I'm at swimming, or whatever. I'm doing something else. This is running without me being here. Now, when you come to a franchise or your own business, it's a job. It's as good as a job. There is no other way to look at this. There really isn't. I've done both. I've had my own traditional business and I was a slave to it. because now you, not only are you the business owner, and yes, you're going to get some profits, but you've got to be there every day, set hours, you've got loads of stresses, much more aggro, and it is as good as a job, but with a ton more pressure. So no freedom, you're not really getting any freedom. In profit, 1 to 6 months. With this particular one, I was in profit within my first month. But then I've got more experience. But if we're realistic, 1 to 6 months, and you're doing regular activity, I say really, if you're doing proper good activity and you're taking it seriously, then you should be in profit in 1 to 3 months. But we never know, of course. So I say 1 to 6. Franchise or traditional business, you've got to get loans possibly and all that kind of thing. You shouldn't need a loan for this kind of thing, depending on where you're coming in. In profit, 3 to 5 plus years. That's a long haul. It really is a long haul. Low risk. There's absolutely no other way to look at this. This is such a low risk to get involved in. This is much more higher risk. Again, truth. Internet business, unlimited income. This was another thing that drew me to it, that I could, I could literally do 10 hours a week and actually my income could keep growing because you've got your online selling system doing the work for you. That's the whole idea. The top earner with this particular system is making about $250,000 a month right now. Now don't panic and think, oh God, that's tough. Don't worry about it because it's not typical. It's obviously one of the top people. But people are making, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 or more a month in massive amounts of numbers with this stuff. So it is very realistic, but just know your income as an internet business. I think I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, my friend Dagan in the States, that guy was making $1 million a month from his internet business. So you can see it's as big as you can believe it can be. But let's just take it that, full-time income initially, leave your job or whatever it is you want to do. That's perfectly realistic to be thinking about. And of course, coupled with freedom, your income goes up and your freedom goes up. Normally when you're stuck over here, the income can go up, the stresses go up, the pressure goes up, you're tied to the premises, hours you have to be there, you haven't really got the freedom. So yes, your income can go up over here, but it's always going to be limited. I don't know many franchise owners that are actually making $250,000 a month and have got a boatload of freedom. Whilst it may well be, it's not very common. So limited income tied to, you're tied to the premises and set hours. So a lot less freedom, a lot less leverage. So now it sounds like I'm kind of being really hard on this side, but I've done this side. I did it, and it was hot, it was painful. It was one of the most difficult times, and we didn't make it. We went down for £250,000, and I was working 17 hours a day, and it was just a life-changing time, and it was very, very miserable for me personally. And so I'm not being down on it, I'm just being very, very realistic. And of course this has delivered so much more for me and my family that of course, I'm going to be completely committed to this, which is why I'm totally happy to recommend it. So that's just a bit of an outline of the differences and how to start to evaluate and think about things when you're looking to step in. Let's move on to the next bit.